Under the same moon, we share the love, embracing the differences like hand in glove. Spreading peace and joy, it's a beautiful sight. Together we shine in each other's light. United we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world share in love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Watching the World. I hope you guys like the new intro song. On the outro, you get to hear the rest of it. So last night was very exciting. We had 15,000 people come through, and we had some serious conversations about what's happening, especially when it comes to Donald Trump, Epstein, Elon Musk, and we talked a little bit about Sean Puffy Combs. As most of you probably know, I attended Sean Puffy Combs' trial in the main courtroom every day for just about 8 weeks. And I guess you could say 9 if you include jury duty. So it was quite the task to go to the courtroom every day and show up and come back and bring you guys information about the trial. But today we're going to talk about a few things that are happening in the media. We're going to talk about Donald Trump. Right now, it seems that MAGA is turning on Donald Trump. Could you believe that? Even before the trial started, many moons ago, I would always cover Donald Trump, all things Trump. Donald Trump's brother was my client here in New York. His name was Robert, so he told me a lot about the family. I got to know the guy pretty good before he passed away quite a few years ago. But it's a very interesting time as to what's happening. But before I get into that, I want to show you guys how I was able to help a lot of people to make money in the stock market. Now, I'm not giving you guys any financial advice, but I'm showing you the way that I was able to help many. So I'm going to show you one of my posts from Facebook. Notice when this post was. It was back in 2024. You see that? And you see the name of that stock? It's called SOFI Technologies. And I was telling everybody on Facebook, what did I say? Research this stock, right? Do you guys know how much this stock is worth today? Just a little bit over a year. I want somebody to go and research it. Whoever can come up with how much the stock is worth today, I'm going to give them $30 in a cash app. So I want you guys to go out, and if you can discreetly find how much the stock, how much money anybody that'll purchase that stock when I first told them to buy it at $6.97. Now, for myself, I bought thousands of shares, but I want you to know how much that stock is worth today. And also at a bigger picture, the man himself, who is the CEO of the company, he's the one that built out Twitter. And so they made a deal with him when he came on with the company that he would not receive the bulk of his money until SOFI reached $45. So this is the reason why I've been telling people to really research SOFI. Yeah, so there we go. Michelle is the winner. You get, actually, I'm going to give you $50, Michelle, because you did it so fast. Michelle, this is the second time I think you won, so you're racking up money here. Hopefully you'll go and buy some SOFI. But right now, SOFI, you can look in the comments. Michelle has just showed you guys it's $21.26. Folks, I was begging people on Facebook to go research this stock at $6. There's another stock that I put out that was at $5. So I'll probably go over that at the next show. Do you know how much it's worth now? $39 in 1 year. So that means it went from $5 to $39 in just a little bit over a year. I probably have about 10 of these stocks that I've told people about, and I continue to do so, but I will be doing it more on this channel. I'm not giving you financial advice, but I'm just showing you how you could potentially do your research, learn about the market. We're not talking about day trading. I do not provide this as a service. I'm just telling you, I'm giving you some free game as to how I have made a lot, a mega lot by investing in the stock market. So uh, definitely do your research. There's different levels to it. If you don't want to really invest a lot, and again, I'm just giving you my opinion. Just because I'm successful at something don't mean that everyone will be. And that goes both ways, right? But I will tell you, if you're really tight and you don't want to take a lot of risk, you could always research CDs. You'd be surprised how many people I talk to just giving advice on Facebook or what have you. A lot of people DM me on Instagram. They don't really understand what a CD is. How do you graduate high school? And I'm not talking down on anyone, but it goes to show that in this country, we're not teaching the children finances, how to purchase a home. The biggest investment of life often is purchasing a home, and they do not really show children how to do this in school. But when it comes to the stock market, if you just want to stay at a minimum level, understanding how to make some money with your CDs, that's okay, that's fine. But then a lot of people don't understand what an index fund is and how you could use an index fund to really maximize. There's always a risk, but at least understand what the term means and the risk factor. Talk to your professional. But then you could also get involved in stocks like the ones that I often show, like SOFI. There's another stock that I told everyone about at $2, and then now that stock is around $70. So imagine all the money. In fact, when it came to Tesla, a lot of people get caught up in the emotion. Oh, don't drive a Tesla, don't buy Tesla stock, Elon Musk. But when you drink a Coca-Cola, you probably don't ask yourself, well, is the guy that started this company, was he some sort of supremacist? What is his political views? What about when you eat potato chips? Do you want to see what the guy thought about who invented the potato chips or what have you? So sometimes we have to learn to separate the emotion and move with intelligence. When Tesla went down to $90 a share, I was telling everybody on Facebook, you want to look into Tesla stock. Tesla is over $300 a share right now. But I'm not here to break down stocks today, but I wanted to start off by telling you guys about this. Today, let's get right into the points, but let me shout out a few people. Shout out to you, Bordeaux. Thanks for being here. Michelle, definitely send me. I think I already have your Cash App, but if not, send it to me again. I'll definitely shoot you your winning prize. Okay, very good. So let's get to what we're here for. We're going to talk about a very important matter with Donald Trump. It appears last night we had a lot of people here that were Trump supporters. We also had people who despised Donald Trump in the audience. But one thing I noticed is that everyone stayed cordial with each other. And I would recommend today, we also have a show tonight. We're going to run a repeat. So just try to be mindful to be kind to one another.
Yes, I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it.
Okay.
Americans have lost a lot of trust in institutions, and I think there's been a lot of discussion, especially online and especially with young people. How do we rebuild that trust in institutions? The CIA, the FBI, all those institutions.
You're right.
Some people think that one way to build trust is to declassify things that everyone's talking about.
So she wants Donald Trump to declassify different things, but notice his response when it comes to Epstein versus the other matters that she brings to the table.
You talked earlier about, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. So if you were president, would you declassify, you can answer yes or no to these.
Yeah.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you?
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole.
So I think it's fair to say that he has some sort of hesitation when it came to Epstein. It doesn't mean that the president is guilty of something, but it is an observation that he did change his position He even changed his posture when it came to the question about Epstein.
World. But I think I would, or at least
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others. Certainly about the way he died. It would be interesting to find out what happened there, because that was a weird situation, and the cameras didn't happen to be working, et cetera, et cetera.
Memo from the DOJ.
Okay, so last night I showed the video of the actual jailhouse where Epstein was unalive through one way or another. We do know that. There's only one video camera that's on the top level that was facing down that they have documented when it comes to Epstein. So it's interesting that Donald Trump says that the cameras were not working. As the president, you would imagine that he gets information that the average Joe wouldn't get. So were there more cameras involved that we do not know about, other than the one camera on the second level that they showed in the videos that we showed last night? 1 minute is missing. So there is a little bit of suspicious activity here.
Reiterates the department's position that Epstein was not murdered, noting, quote, after a thorough investigation, FBI investigators concluded that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in his cell. They even released nearly 11 hours of security camera footage from outside. So
you can see in the video here, these two doors, at first I thought one of these would have been Epstein's doors. No. In the video I showed last night, they bring him down these stairs for whatever purposes. In this far left corner, you see a desk and there's guards moving around throughout the night, but Epstein's door to his cell is not within camera shot. And so far, this is the only camera position that has been released. But according to this report, that everybody is up in arms. Now, we expect Democrats to not be happy with this or have issues with Donald Trump. That's just the nature of the game. However, this is the first time that, in fact, I would have never imagined that MAGA would be turning on Donald Trump. We're going to get into these posts from different people, high-profile people in MAGA, who are actually coming out talking against the president, which I'm quite shocked. I think this all started, though, when Elon Musk, when he really highlighted the fact that Donald Trump is actually in the Epstein files. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing that Elon Musk started off as a Democrat. When I started buying Tesla stock, Elon Musk was a Democrat, and I liked a lot of things about him. The question that I asked last night is, did Elon Musk intentionally go over to they call him what, a Trojan horse? He intentionally went over to now this is all private speculation. This is just a question. This is not a statement. But did he go over to the Republicans and cozy up with the president, get access to all the government and what have you, and then come back out and start his own party? I mean, it's a valid question. I think people really want to know. Before we get back in the video, shout out to you, Sharon. Thank you. Energetic Giraffe says Elon has been pictured with, I think you're talking about Ghislaine. Wow, I didn't know that. This would be the first time that I've heard that he's been seen with her. So I will have to research that after this show. Okay. All right, let's get back to it.
Epstein's cell that night of his death, although that will likely do little to quell the ongoing conspiracies, especially considering the video is missing an entire minute. The DOJ.
So, guys, the video is missing a minute. That's going to always pose a problem. Remember the case of Kanika Jenkins and the young lady who went into the freezer, and there were so many people. I think that was one of the biggest cases where you had the YouTube investigators all over the case. But whenever you have an incident where there's a missing minute or just something different going on, you're always going to have people, it's going to fall into that conspiracy box. And I don't think you would ever be able to shake that. That's just my opinion.
Jay attributes that to a long-standing glitch with the system.
The whole thing that this tape shows he didn't kill himself.
Now, this gentleman here, we know his position about Donald Trump, right? He's always, I call him a Donald Trump. He rides with Donald Trump all the time. Now, notice now, this has him taking a different posture when it comes to the president.
It's like a joke, but worse than that, it's a joke that we all get. Like, they're not fooling anybody. So I feel like we're at a dangerous point now.
So now by
Alex Jones, of all people, you would imagine that he would always speak in the president's favor. Usually that's the way he leans, right? So this matter is so outrageous that you have a strong Donald Trump supporter. Notice the man starts crying, folks. We have to get him some tissue.
coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has become part of it. I mean, it's just you cannot see it any other way.
So he says the Trump administration has become a part of the conspiracy. Well, what conspiracy? Oh, the same conspiracy that they say Sleepy Joe Biden is a part of. That's what they call him. Or the deep state. Remember, they always pointed to the deep state, the Democrats, the left, as being the ones to hide information. Well, guess what? Lo and behold, now Alex Jones, the leader of conspiracy or what have you. I don't follow him that closely, but you know, he's the one that leads the pack when it comes to all things Trump. Let's listen.
So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. Because I have integrity. And, you know, I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country. And they're doing so much good. And then for them to do something like this tears my guts out.
Did you ever think you would see a day when Alex Jones, of all people, that would be crying because he's so distraught in regards to what's happening in connection with the president of the United States, right? Who saw that coming? It really makes you think, like, what's really going on when you see the biggest of the Trump supporters. He said he's about to throw up people. He could feel water in his mouth. What a sad moment for mankind, right? Anyway, Energetic Giraffe says, because every MAGA I know is pissed off. Yes, indeed, they're pissed off. They are extremely pissed off, and we're definitely going to cover it. I just never imagined I would see something like this. You're welcome. Aloha Kitty. You are very welcome. We'll definitely keep bringing you the information. Aloha Kitty says, according to the Washington Post, Trump lied 25,000 times in his first term. Now, I just want to let you guys know we're not Trump haters over here, but we're just bringing out unbiased news. One thing for sure, do not be surprised, especially with myself being an investor. If Trump does something great, I'm definitely going to tell you about it. If he does something bad, hey guys, I'm going to tell you about it, right? I'm just here at the break of day to give you some news about what's happening, what could be happening in this country that we all share, this whole world that we all share. We're watching it. We're right on top of it. Loretta says, I didn't say anything offensive. I did not see you say anything offensive. That was not something that I said. Not sure where that's coming from. May Fleet says, I mean, that's Alex Jones. Yes, indeed. That's Alex Jones. He's crying away. He's very disappointed in his president, his fearless leader, the president of the United States. Sharon says, I did not see that coming. I did not see it coming either. And trust me, when it comes to Facebook, I'm constantly posting about Donald Trump every day. When I wasn't covering the Diddy's trial every day, that kind of set me back. But I'm back on it, folks. I'm back on my Trump news every day, believe it. And any other good news that, it may not be good news, but any other news that comes forth. Now, maybe Donald Trump has never met Epstein. What do you guys think? Do you think it's possible that he's never met Epstein? Aloha Kitty just subscribed. Shout out to you. Thanks for locking in. I appreciate having you on board. So I'll definitely be looking out for you, Aloha Kitty. Thank you so much, Bordeaux. Thanks for welcoming her. Energetic says it's impossible that Donald Trump has never met Epstein. So that would be a good argument. Now, I just sat through the Diddy Sean Combs trial. And when it comes to evidence and looking at facts and charts, one of the things that they would often do in the trial, right? They would bring up a witness about Diddy or a victim. The first thing they would do is say, okay, bring up this exhibit number 6122. Do you know that fella sitting in the picture? And the person would say, yeah, that's Sean Puffy Combs. So another factor, and sorry guys, I'm going to keep talking about this case. I win every day, so I have to let this information out of me. So I'll bring it up at different times, whether people like it or not. It is what it is. But when they put together the charts, right, involving Diddy, they often showed people, places, and things. And for the people, the prosecutors asked the agent, well, how do you determine these people that are at a meeting? So, for instance, if there was like a freak off and there's 3 people at a freak off, they want to know, how do you determine who's at the freak off? Did you go by what Diddy said? Did you go by what Cassie said? Maybe she said she was there with the guy named, let's call him Ralph or whatever. No, they said they only put the names on the chart that they could verify through video. That's how the government operates, folks. Did you know that? They don't go by word of mouth. They didn't ask the hostess at the hotel, did you see Jumpin' Jack Flash walking here with his little tight pants on? No, they went by the video. In fact, one of the guys that flew in from New York to LA, they said they had his metadata in the hotel lobby. So these guys went back and pulled video. They looked at the text messages of all the individuals saying that they're going to show up and commit this act. So then they go back. They have the time reference. They knew when he was picked up at the airport. He had a private vehicle drop him off at the hotel. So they went and pulled the hotel. I think this is back, 2009? They did say in most hotels, they only keep the information for 10 years. But so I said all that, right? I wanted to give you some of that juicy background. But I said all that to show that video and also pictures. Well, you know, we do have this AI that can really skew things. But check it out. Do we have any video of Donald Trump and Mr. Epstein? Let it rip. Oh, Lord. Folks, can you identify the individuals in this photo? Can anybody identify who's the gentleman there wearing that look like a jean button up? Who is that? That's not Ellen DeGeneres, folks. Who is that? Do we have anybody in the audience that know? All right, we have a slow comment section here, so we're going to give $20 to the first person. Okay, energetic giraffes, you won. You won $20. You named the first person in the video to the right. That's Epstein. Does anyone know the fellow wearing the pink tie? Who is the fellow wearing the pink tie? $20 to the first person that can figure that out. Who is the guy in the pink tie? That's a rhyme there. Who is the guy? We can make that into a song. Who is the guy in the pink? Donald Trump. Bet your last. Shout out to you. You guys have to email me your Cash App. So bet your last. Just email me that you won the second. Either way, I'll remember. Pretty good at that. So yeah, we have in the video here, guys. We have Donald Trump and Epstein in the same video, and this is not AI. Last night, somebody pointed out on the show that the last time these guys were together were in 1997. So it's reasonable, perhaps, to believe that this video is prior to that. Blaze, that's mad funny. You're right. That's a big challenge. Let's go through the comments real quick while we're all there. They are, the two of them together, folks. They're there. As the MAGA would say, there's no there, but there's some there here. We'll call this picture there. Okay. Quite a few people answered correctly. Energetic Giraffes got it first. Thank you very much. Okay, so we have quite a few comments. Last night, there was 15,000 people coming through, and it was very hard to cover all the comments. Hopefully today at lunch, we can get through most of them. I want everybody to be heard. Okay. Pictures speak 1,000 words. What are these pictures saying, folks? It's saying a lot. It doesn't mean that the president committed a crime. Let's make that clear. But it does explain why MAGA is going ape bananas, we'll call it. We won't say the bad word, folks. We don't want to do it. It's not nice. It's not nice. Okay, a lot of comments again. So, boy, I'm in trouble here. All right, let's try to breeze through it. Okay, Auton, it is written, it does not belong to man. Oh, we got a Bible thumper here that is walking even to direct his own steps. We humans are constantly proving it. Okay, that's a Bible verse. Just so you know, I'm in the Bible scholarship program, so you're right up my alley. I could debate you all day about the Bible. That's what I do. Loretta Wright says, what is he saying to Epstein? Oh, boy, what it looks like apart. Yeah, what are they talking about in the picture, folks? I know you guys are very creative, but maybe we have some individuals in the audience that read minds or read lips. Tell us what they're saying. Aloha Kitty, shout out to you. Thank you so much. Okay, very good. Loretta, what is he? Okay, we read that. Okay, shout out to you, Brandon. I think I've seen you here before. Thanks for coming back. This is a neutral, unbiased comment section, folks. Do not call names. It doesn't matter if you're MAGA or whatever you want to be. We don't care. Just when you're here, show a little love to the folks. Show a little love to your neighbor. Look to your neighbor, look to your right and say, neighbor, I love you, neighbor. All right. Pretend you're on the church pews. You know how they do it, right? Neighbor. Okay. Cheryl says Trump kicked Epstein off all his properties years ago. I heard he kicked them out of Mar-a-Lago. That's what the people were saying last night. I don't like to push a narrative that's not true. So that's why I'm saying these are some of the concepts people were talking about last night. Folks, we don't know. But you guys could find out. Let me drop the link in case someone wants to come up. In order to come up, you have to show your camera. There's no way around it, folks. One time I was on a show and a guy didn't show his camera. He came up and he was in the nude doing some freak off type activity. Oh, no, we can't have that. That's how you get your channel destroyed. We're not having it. So just show your camera. You can show it to me. I could see it before you come on the stage, folks. And as long as you look like a law-abiding citizen, we'll let you on. Okay. Energetic Giraffe says Epstein was an intelligence asset. Every president has met him. Whether they did anything immoral or debatable. Okay, so I guess he met most of the presidents during his lifetime. Okay, Aloha Kitty. Oh, he knew Epstein, all right. Picture speaks without. Yeah, we have the video evidence here. It doesn't appear to be AI, folks. It doesn't appear. What Trump was saying to Epstein, what it looks like a party. Oh, okay. Okay, all right. They were probably playing a little Bon Jovi. Michelle says, no, they knew each other 100. Okay. That girl Henny is in the building. Hey, Mel, listening as I drive. All right. Shout out to you. That girl Henny was on the show last night, folks. She'll be back again tonight. We're going to really break down some breaking news in regards to what's happening with Donald Trump. News that I'm not going to cover now. I'm saving it for tonight, folks. Come on through. We have a good time and everybody's relaxing and behaving. No name calling. We throw the trolls right out, right on their head. Yes, indeed. The ladies throw them right out of here. Cheryl. Okay, that was for Bodox. Okay, Bodox. Okay, look up EDCB. Okay, there's a case number. I would definitely look that up. I always do. I keep my word. MAGA loves Epstein now. Okay, maybe Epstein is speaking from his non-existence. Wouldn't that be very interesting if he solves the case, folks. Energetic Giraffe says Epstein. Okay. A young Epstein. Okay. Yeah, someone said last night in this photo he was 27. I do not in the video. These are some things that I just recalled. Okay, Michelle says, oh, who is the guy in the pink tie? None other than the biggest man on the planet right now, Donald Trump. Okay, guys, I went to Donald Trump's trial as well. It was the first trial that I have attended. And in fact, I was shocked. The guy was very tall. I would say he's 6'2", something like that, a really tall guy. As I attended his trial, he was sleeping most of the day. And at the end of the trial, and I will tell you about his jury members, all of them, 3 of them were attorneys. 3 men on the jury were attorneys. They all looked like Democrats, folks. Every last one of them. It looked like a setup to me. And I'm just telling you what I saw. I didn't see one MAGA person, a person that I would say, oh, yeah, this person would definitely wear a red hat. Not that that's the only characteristics of a MAGA person, but yeah, it was definitely a weird type of jury setup. And yeah, I'm saying it. I stand on it. That's what I saw. Seemed like it was by design, but who knows? That's just my observation. Okay. Nick grows things. Nick, what are you growing over there? What are you growing? You want to share with us? If you're growing something good that you want to sell, I'll put your link up if you have a website. But if you're growing anything that, yeah, we'll stay away from that. Okay, Big Bob Trump. Okay, yeah, definitely, Nick. I have you. I'll definitely help you promote. And for that case, any subscriber that wants to promote something, I'm definitely down. I'll put it on the community page. You have to reach out to me via email. One of the moderators, please put the email link up there. It's 2 O's in world because the regular way was not available when I tried to get the email, folks. Okay, so all right. It's funny you mentioned Ellen DeGeneres, considering she was on the island. What, Nate? Ellen was on the island? Oh my goodness. Last night that girl Henny had a list. So Henny, can you tell us about that? Well, you're driving. We don't want you to do that now. Okay. Epstein's homie. I guess you're talking about Trump. All right. Blazing says that's a challenge. Okay. Oh, dump Trump. I get it. You're saying dump Trump. Okay, I get it. Dave B says that means nothing. Trump meet with many people. That's a good fact. I mentioned that. Just because you're seen with someone does not mean you were involved in whatever they were alleged to have done. That's a fact. But it does lend itself toward these conspiracy theories, why the MAGA group is really going crazy about this. Cheryl says, why are Canadians talking mean about Trump in here? Okay, well, I didn't notice that. Okay, let's get back to the video, folks. Melvin says it would be good to get a lip reader to translate. I will definitely work on that. I do have a body language expert. Her name is Blanca Cobb. She will be back on this week. I think she'll be back on. I don't want to tell you guys wrong. I think it's toward the end of the week, and we're going to be breaking down. We're going to break down quite a bit, especially like when it comes to Diddy's trial. But a lot of these videos and sound bites or what have you, we're going to be talking about those, breaking it down. We'll see what a body language expert think about people being honest about different scenarios as well. Aloha Kitty says they look very cozy talking about Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. Okay, that's your interpretation. Okay, Blazing. And who is the third one? I'm not sure. Does anybody know who the third guy is in the frame? Let's go back a little bit. Who is that fella? Who was that masked man? Does anybody know what show I'm talking about? What show did that term come from? Whoever can think of it gets $20, folks. Who was that masked man? Don't Google it. All right, folks, we're looking for talent here, not Googling. Who was that masked man? I used to see that show when I was a kid. Whoever can come up with it. Oh, actually, whoever puts it in the chat first wins. All right. So you'll get your $20. Batman. All right, we have Eric says Batman. Mike says Scooby-Doo. All right, Jacob says telling it like it is, that's cool. However, when you say things that are recorded off the cuff, you're gonna run into problems. Okay, very good. That's a good statement. Yep, that's right. Guess who the winner was? It was Don Trump, folks. It was Don Trump. It was the Lone Ranger. Good job, Don Trump. Send me your Cash App. Somebody said the third guy was Saddam Hussein. I do not. No, I don't think so. All right, Butch says, don't forget Jeffrey went to the White House 30 plus times during Clinton's presidency. That's a good point. Absolutely. Very good point. If it's true, you're showing variation of information. That's good. Okay. Okay, so now we have a picture. All of this still, if it was to go to trial, does not mean that the president did anything wrong that these people are claiming. That's just how it goes, folks. But it does show that they did meet.
Who have you seen? Pam Bondi.
Now, this is where it gets really sticky, folks. Now we get to see some of the top MAGA folks and see just how frustrated they are with this whole case. And it's quite amazing to see that usually when I turn to these individuals, they're talking fluffy about Trump. But notice this.
She has never missed an opportunity to go on television and dangle sweet nothings that might be coming your way. Try to lead you to believe that she's got it. It's on her desk. It's coming tomorrow. You're going to see something on Epstein. And it was a tease. So you either believe that Pam Bondi was telling the truth then or that she's telling the truth now, but both cannot be true.
So what do you guys think? You think Pam Bondi was telling the truth to the best of her ability, and maybe at first she thought it was a certain way, and then looked at the file and realized it was a nothing burger? Or do you think that she is telling an untruth as being mentioned here? What do you guys think in the audience? Tell us what you think, folks. Do you see any room for deception when it comes to Pam Bondi?
She was either lying when she went on Fox News all those times saying, I've got it, we're looking at it, wait until you see it, it's horrible. Or she's lying in her 2-page memo that they released on a Sunday night at the tail end of a holiday weekend to Axios, as if Axios is where we all go for our news. Hell no. She went to someone she knew would not kick the tires on the story, and without signing the memo, dropped it in the dead of night and said, that's it, take the crumbs and be happy. Make some noise if you care about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
Raise your hand if it matters a lot to you. Raise your hand.
Okay, Michael says hiding the truth because there is a list. Michael, let me ask you a question. And guys, if you want to come up, feel free to come up. Again, you have to show your camera. There's a couple people that are not happy with me. Please come on up. Believe me, I can take it. Whatever you want to dish out, bring it on up. Talk to me. I'm here all day. Let's go. If you want to do whatever you got to do, come on through. I'm begging you. Michael says, again, hiding the truth because there is a list. Now, let me ask you, Michael, Do you think Elon Musk says that there are files? The government comes back and say there's no list. It seems like to me that's a distraction. It's like a play on words because they're not saying there's no files. And I think that's what everybody wants to know. Is there files in this case? So what do you guys think? That girl Henny, she's lying now. I believe they had the list and somehow it made its way to the mysterious shredder. You think they shredded it? Wow. So they shredded the list. You think that's possible? Okay. Law Just Kel says, this damn content creator. All right. Bring it on up. Let us know what you feel. Tell us how you feel inside. Mike Morgan. No, that's not all that I care about. That's all the room that I had. Okay, to chat. Okay. You're responding to someone. D Sly says she's in over her head. Well, the good thing is the president has come to her defense. Imagine if he was upset with her too, it would be a different ball game. But it's going to be tough for her if MAGA is not happy with how she's producing right now. Cal CA says, was the third guy Matthew Calamari Trump's old bodyguard? Okay, we could look that up. Probably would be easy to figure that part out. Okay, Mike. Okay, Jacob says to Mike Morgan, that's all you care about. Okay, it's Miss Amy Love. Yes, hello. So many of those awful men have done so much awfulness in the name of power. You could say that again. And thank you for tapping in. I appreciate having you here. Keep coming through. I'll definitely be covering the tough topics, and I'm not afraid to go there, folks. So we're gonna cover it. Let's see what else we have here. Jacob. Okay, we already went through that. Okay, CJ. Whatever happened to the case with that lady saying Trump and Epstein took turns on her? Oh, as a young. That's all that people were talking about last night, folks. And again, I can't verify any of this, folks. I know very little about those allegations, but you guys could definitely research it. If anyone wants to come on the show and talk about it, feel free. But we won't talk about things that violate any of the YouTube policies. So when it comes to PDF files, we have to be very careful with that. We're not going to go below the standards, okay? Wallace Yolanda says, if you want to be closer of Trump, talk about business and money. Okay. We started off talking about business and money. You probably missed that at the beginning of the show. So go back to the beginning of the video. I show you how I made a lot of people money when it comes to a stock called SOFI. So check it out. See, Fozio says Trump is not a PDF, but he knows who he is, and that's the problem with this. This thing is bigger than, okay. Absolutely. Okay, very good. Most of Hollywood were Epstein's close friends. Thank you, Butch. Thanks for tapping in. Thanks for coming through and expressing yourself. I appreciate it very much. Okay, let's go through a few more. Trump is not worth your trust. Okay. All right. A lot of people here are not happy with Trump, but I appreciate that you guys, even though you do not like Trump, you're still being respectful. A lot of people don't like Joe Biden, but please let's just be. We're having civil talk, folks. That's all it is. RP21 says she withdrew the case because she was threatened exactly the same way Stormy Daniels was threatened. Okay, Stormy Daniels. Stormy Daniels was the center of all of this, most of this New York court case that I attended in regards to the 34 felonies that Donald Trump was convicted of. So he still became president. I don't think he could vote, but if you do have a felony, you can be the president. What an interesting concept, I must say. Butch says the truth will never be revealed. I can agree with you on that. I think it's going to all die down eventually, but guess who's not going away? Elon Musk. Folks, Elon Musk is definitely not going away. He's going to keep pushing with this. I can imagine. All right, one more here. Law Just Kill says, let's see, damn, nobody want to speak on his wife. You're talking about Melania? I think people talk about anything. I don't think they realize you want to hear about that. Bernard Gaines, shout out to you. Thanks for coming through. How are you? Come back through. Thanks for everybody that hit the like button, share, subscribe. Thanks for supporting. We're simply just going over what's in the news. I'm not trying to give my thoughts or my 2 cents. I'm just creating a platform here for people to come on and express themselves. So have at it, folks. Nancy Whitman, how are you? Trump not trustworthy. Okay. Not worthy of the followers. Okay. All right. Thank you. Jay is back from last night. Jay Mastermind. Exactly. He met his wife through Jeffrey. So you're saying that Donald Trump met his wife through Jeffrey Epstein? Wow. That's one I heard last night. I did not hear that before. Did not get a chance to look it up because I was so busy preparing this show. Hey, guys, I have a lot of material coming through. It's going to be produced videos about the trial. I'm going to go through the trial. I'm going to produce it in a way with all the pictures, places, and things so you guys could almost pretty much have a similar experience as myself, who sat in the trial every day. And also, I'm moving on to cover other big trials. I'm going to cover Luigi Mangione, covering Carmelo Anthony. I'm covering Drake versus UMG. I've already attended the first day of trial. You could go back to my videos. You know what I'll do? I'm going to do another show, and I'll break down this Drake versus UMG. I know most of you guys in the audience know about that song, They Not Like Us, something like that. So that's the song that's at the heart of Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. Well, it's actually Drake versus UMG, I believe, the record label. All right. So let's get back to the video, folks.
So every hand of 7,000 people.
Everybody cares. I think
A lot. I said a lot. Every hand.
There is a lot, and we're not gonna like everything. There's a lot that's kind of bubbling under the surface, and I know you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to ask a few questions to all of you. How many of you are satisfied? You can clap. Satisfied with the results of the Epstein investigation? Clap.
They're not happy, folks. They're not happy. This is going to be a big problem.
Okay, I told you to clap. You guys aren't listening. I'm not going to grade you on a curve. So I was going to get to that. How many of you are not satisfied?
So someone in the audience says we're not satisfied
With the results of the investigation. It looks like it's going to be, and now.
Okay, it's Miss Amy Love. Shout out to you. She says, this is the first time I've ever seen your feed on YouTube is promoting your show. Thank you. Hopefully you stick around. We enjoy your input. We have incredible moderators. And the unique thing about the moderators on this channel, a lot of them perform at a high level. We have teachers, we have some professors, we have some very sharp people that are moderators for this channel. I feel very blessed to have them, and they help me navigate because basically I just started dealing with all this back office YouTube stuff. But I have covered the case though, so that's what I focus on, and I'm thankful to all of my moderators. Each one of them are near and dear to my heart. Okay, Law just says this dude, okay, talking about Henry. Hope you see the comments and pick up on this. She got this. Okay, so not sure. Oh, you're talking about Henny. Okay. Okay, very good. Michelle says, I believe everything will come out. It's a lot of information out there. People who are in the orbit are talking about what they know. Yeah, a lot of people. And of all people that you could ever think of, Donald Trump probably has the largest amount of followers you could ever have of anyone. So if they all turn on him, I don't think everybody's going to turn on him, but this is something to watch. I never would imagine something like this happen. All right, Jay, shout out to you. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate you. All right, Michael, I remember your name as well. I believe the Daily Mail had a story today that said Epstein's girlfriend wants to testify in front of Congress and name the names on the list. What in the world? Wouldn't that be crazy? Man, this is too hot for television, right? Now, that could be a real problem because I think that there were a lot of people, a lot of celebrities and so forth. Well, we had the list last night, a portion of it. That girl, Henny, had it. So tonight, hopefully, Henny, when you come back on, bring your list and we can talk about it. Jay says she came to the U.S. through model agency that Jeffrey was a part of. Look it all up. Okay, Jay, that's what you say. Wow. Never heard that before. Okay. Shout out again to Donna. How are you, Donna? Donna, I sent you something. Check it out. Benson Ardor says, Melania, you butchered that name. Okay. I'm not sure about that. Okay, let's see. Bordock says, hello, okay. Okay, all right. So basically everybody's saying the same thing. The wife came by means of Jeffrey Epstein, okay?
Now this is like the who's going to be off the island first, right? This is like who's going to be voted off the island first. I don't know what to believe on that.
Okay, guys, so who's going to be voted off the island first? Who's going to be the first to go? I don't think Donald Trump is going anywhere. And if you believe that, you might be deceived. Okay, it's Miss Amy Love says, white 11th generation American here. Never see anyone with an overextended European visa being rounded up in any of these kidnappings. Wow. I covered the protests in New York City, and that's what people were saying, that these ICE is basically kidnapping people, bum rushing them, beating them to a pulp. Very interesting. I did notice that a lot of the individuals that work for ICE here in New York were Spanish. Not that that has some superior meaning, and they speak Spanish very well, but I found it like that was kind of interesting to me, you know, because while I was covering Diddy's trial, I would see so many of the ICE members. For the most part, they cover their face, but you could still, you know, you could hear and see what they're talking about. I saw quite a few. They were actually coming to the protests and picking up people. Richard Hammer said they unalived a field worker. Wow. Where did that happen at, Richard? Okay. MG says a lot of illegal tallies. They're known for being criminals. None are going back through. Okay. FF book reads, according to Michael Wolff, who had several interviews with Epstein, Steve Bannon was very chummy with Epstein too. What? Never heard that before. Interesting. Okay. All right. Let's see. MG says he's not going because QAnon touches while pretending to protect them. So that's not nice if that's what they're doing. You're welcome, Donna. You're welcome. You're very welcome. I'm glad to support you in any way possible. Dark Unit says release the Epstein list. That's what Elon Musk had tweeted yesterday. Release the information already. Michelle says, once you make an enemy mail, all your information is no longer, or an enemy, all your information is no longer confidential. Okay. Michelle, let's talk about it. Hit me up today. Let's talk about it. I'm very interested in understanding what you're saying. Okay. MG says bot showing it because he's on it. Yeah, definitely. You're right on the money. Jay says you all pay taxes to PDFs. You all vote in a president that's messed with, and do not do business with people who do these wicked acts. Why won't people wake up and revolt? What will it take? Okay. Great question. All right. Speak on the wife. Why are they not showing the list? Okay. Again, let's see if anybody answered. Are we talking about a list really, or are we talking about files? Because Elon Musk is saying, and he would know because he had all the access to the government with Doge, right? That's interesting. These individuals did not go before Congress, right? Initially, and they had access to the government. Now they're at odds with the president. That is like the strangest thing you would ever imagine. Okay, Richard Hammer says the farm was a part of the union. Okay, can you expound on that, Richard? Tell us all about it. Okay, it happened in Ventura, California. He was the beacon and tased the immigrant worker. Thank you, Lord Jeskel. Thank you. Oh, actually, I need to be showing you guys comments on the screen. So let me start showing comments. How can we rotate these comments so everybody's comment is seen? Is there a way to do that? We will become better at this. I want everybody's comment to be seen. I want everybody to be heard. And again, guys, click the link if you want to come up. All right. We have 143 people in the building, folks. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. We're going to be back on tonight talking about Trump. But tonight we're going to do a deep dive. And again, we're going to be respectful. And guys, please be mindful when you're talking about minors to do so with dignity. And remember, I'm trying to read your comments, so I don't want to read things that are absurd. But again, if I read something that sounds weird, please keep in mind I'm just trying to help people be heard. And I don't necessarily agree with everything that I read, folks. So it is what it is. Okay, Donna. Okay, Donald Trump's wife got the Epstein visa 2001, which is for science, arts, education, etc. Hers for modeling. Okay. All right, Melania. Okay, let's see. It's Miss Amy says, First Lady got here on Epstein visa? What in the world? Okay, all right. Okay, guys. Okay, so let's finish out. We're going to finish out the video here.
Strongly recommend in that, because I've argued for this from the beginning, that in that arc of looking at how the deep state has tried to stop Trump and the MAGA movement, you can...
Guys, I like certain things about Steve Bannon that he said. I know some people might take offense to that, but I think he's a really smart guy when it comes to different things, right? What do you guys think about Steve Bannon? If you like Steve Bannon, put a 1 in the chat. If you don't, put a 2. Tell us what you think.
Easily fit in the Epstein situation, right? If you want the full release of documents, the special prosecutor gets it. And here's why. Epstein is a key that picks the lock on...
Scott Free, shout out to you. Thanks for tapping in, bro. It's called the Epstein visa. Thank you. Expound on it. All right. FF Book reads, shout out to you. He says number 2, he does not like Steve Bannon, folks. Okay, we get that. All right, Richard Hammer, thanks for all the comments. Things have gotten better over the years. Okay, all right. Thank you for that input. Let's see what Bannon has to say.
So many things, not just individuals, but also institutions, intelligence institutions, foreign governments, and who was working with him on our intelligence apparatus and in our government. This is why it's a time for choosing now.
Okay, so I want to challenge the people in the audience. I don't have a dog in the fight when it comes to Steve Bannon, but I will say quite a few people are putting a 2 in the chat. So I want to challenge you guys to come on up. Let's start being vocal and challenge people when they're saying things that we don't believe in. When we ended the Diddy's trial, the Sean Puffy Combs trial, Brian Steele, he made a very good statement to all of us journalists that were there at the very end when he did his final walk to go to his hotel or whatever he was doing. He said the government is broken and I need individuals like yourself to tell people about it. And that's what we've been doing. And not only when it comes to Diddy's trial have we noticed things that are broken, folks, but even now we're starting to see it at a higher level. That's why you guys are here today. A lot of you are here because you're intrigued. I'm not making up the fact that MAGA is upset with Donald Trump. And they're upset because this is basically one of his promises from his campaign was to release the Epstein files. People want to know. People want to be able to trust the government. So now that Donald Trump is hedging, or people interpret it, that way, now we have a problem. Joseph, thanks for tapping in. Epstein was an intel agent placed by Mossad. His death was not suicidal. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. So guys, Bordeaux just put the email in the chat. So feel free to email me with any questions or concerns. And we will definitely discuss it. Again, if any of you would like to come up to say a few things or express yourself, feel free to come up. And I like to see more of you guys become expressive too, because we need it, because we see that people do not have problems lying to us, that have seats at the biggest tables in the world and also in this country, folks. Okay, let's see if this video is over.
Okay, so when Laura Ingraham says there's a lot bubbling under the surface here, we're talking about the controversy that began more than a week ago here, when the Justice Department and FBI announced they had found no evidence that Epstein kept a client list. That contradicted Attorney General Pam Bondi's past suggestion that such a list from the convicted sex offender existed. At one point, she went on Fox and said, "It's on my desk." Conservative influencers began to criticize both Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel for their findings, which came after.
So do you guys think that she really had a list on her desk, or was she just saying that to appease the crowd, the MAGA crowd, or the Trump supporters? What do you guys think? All right. Is it Barise Campbell? Thank you for your expression. Barise, come on up. Tap in with me. Look forward to hearing more from you. Also, Sharon Godbolt. Thank you very much. Keep coming back, Sharon. We would love to hear from you. Johnny Apple Sneeze. Steve is on the list. Okay. Wow. That's a new thought. FF Book Reads. Thanks for coming back. Definitely lock in. Stay in contact. We'll be doing many more shows, so we'll be going over those tough subjects. Like this one is pretty tough because most people that are Trump supporters are not happy that, especially on my Facebook page, some of those guys have gone silent who were doing all this boasting about a year ago. Joseph says she definitely had a list, but too many high profiles are on it, including Trump. Woo. So you're saying that Trump is on the list. Has it been confirmed? I don't think anyone has confirmed that without a shadow of a doubt. At least I haven't seen anything. John 066 says, okay, I just lost that one. Okay, here we go. Trump is on the list. Hold on one second. The comment section is moving fast, folks, so it's hard to keep up. Trump is on the list and Bondi is trying to hide it. Ooh. I think that's a reasonable conclusion that a lot of people are thinking. Okay. List or file? That's right, Bordeaux. What are we talking about here? Julie Trombator. If there is no list, how did Maxwell get convicted? Wasn't she convicted on the list? I mean, regarding the list, folks. That's right, Julie. So what is she? Set her free. Let her go. If there's no list, and that's the reason why she went down, folks, let her go home. I do not know Spanish, folks, so I can't really read that. Blue Ocean says, not a chance. Thank you, Blue Ocean. for coming through. I appreciate having you here. It's Miss Amy says, even MAGA knows now that Trump is and has always been deep and in the deep state. Wow. Wow, that's a deep statement. Okay. Found worthy. Those that don't trust Trump are proven wrong every time. I know I was one of them. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you for your input. Blue Ocean, if Trump was on the list, you betcha Biden would have released it. Very good point. Very good point. That's a solid point. Wallace Yolanda says Trump is not on that list. Okay, so we have two sides, folks. I'm just reading and helping people get their message up. And we have people on both sides. Some say that Trump is on the list. Others says no. So there's a big point of contention here. That's why we see that in this country, a lot of people are going crazy about this whole subject. And we're going to dig into it tonight, folks. So come back through. We're going to be on at 8 o'clock tonight. You don't want to miss it. Richard says the truth is slowly evolving people. Right. Definitely. Okay. All right. Trying monthly, not working, and that is just a business. Okay. Wallace, Yolanda said that. Richard said, yeah, I think that was the lady. Okay. Norman, shout out to you, Norman. Davis, if Trump was on the list, the Dems would have used it before the election. Okay. Good point. John 066, watch Maxwell end up dead if she's going to name names. Okay. Thank you for participating. Can't trust anyone after he lied about Epstein list. Okay. A lot of people feel that way. Wallace Yolanda says Trump is not just business. Okay. Ruby Calvin says Biden wouldn't release the list because his on the list too. So you think Biden is on the list too? He's been to the island? Never heard that one before. Christine Stubblefield. Why is that a point? Not necessary. Okay. Not sure which point. Michelle says he might be protecting someone on the list. Okay. That's a good way of looking at it too. Okay. I don't think this list business is all dead, folks. I think we've hit the wall. People are going to be upset about it, and it's going to be it. Okay. It's Miss Amy says, no, the point is that evil on the Dem side does not excuse any evil on the other side. Okay. That's a good point. John 066, not everyone drank the Trump Kool-Aid. That's true. Wallace Yolanda. I think every side is passionate about their side, but guess what? Who's going to end up? How many of you guys are going to follow Elon Musk to the America Party or American Party? Which one is it? Okay. Wallace Yolanda, not. Okay. Bordeaux. Shout out saying hello to John. Okay, Ruby Calvin. I voted for President Trump. Never thought he would have lied. Gaslighting. Dems on the list too. From what I understand, there's some celebrities on the list too. But again, from what I learned with the Diddy trial, you hear all these things in the public, like they were saying things about Diddy. And when I went to the trial every day, these things were never a part of the trial. Most of it was proven not true. For instance, before I went to the trial and heard it for myself, they were saying there were drugs in the baby oil. But in trial, it came out there were no drugs in the baby oil, folks. It just ran the baby oil under the hot water so the skin could shine, folks. Let it shine, let it shine. All right, Joseph. Alexis Wilkins was just not the girlfriend of Kash Patel. She was his handler. It's not a coincidence her boss, Marissa Strait, CEO of PragerU, used to work for the Mossad. Okay. Okay, it's Miss Amy. No, they wouldn't, because some powerful Democrats are on the list too. Okay, so people feel like there's a lot of Democrats on the list, Republicans and Democrats. Okay. Okay, Wallace Yolanda, if he was on the list, the Democrats can't use long time ago. Okay, Christine Stubblefield, does not make any difference. Money talks. Money does talk. And if you don't have money, you are screwed. Hayes Pennington says, at this point, who isn't on the list in politics? Yeah, right. The whole list. Throw the whole list away, folks. Maybe that's what they did. Blue Ocean 77. Trump just brought in so much money through tariffs. He's winning. I know one thing. The stock market is booming, and I'm definitely winning right now. So, and when the market fell, when Trump and Elon were doing their thing, I was buying up a storm, and now it's just crazy, folks. You always buy when the market is down, folks. Not giving you financial advice, but I'm just trying to encourage those who may not dabble in the stock market. Maybe they'll take a look. All right. Bondi was Epstein's special counsel. She's a dirtbag. Ruby Calvin said that. Blue Ocean 77, Obama Clinton, I'm sure is on the list. Okay. All right. Thank you, Blue Ocean, for coming through. We appreciate hearing from you. Okay. DBL Triplex says Spam Blondie is the Patsy. Okay. Wallace Yolanda says nothing to hire on Trump. Okay. Julie Chambator says Biden couldn't release the list because Maxwell was on trial. Trial is over. Release the list. Okay. Thank you for the inside information. You helped to paint in the concept so we understand better. Charles Sizemore, it is pretty clear that Trump is protecting someone or all of them. Deal time. Somebody's going to get a deal, you think, Charles? You think they'll get a deal? Hayes Pennington says, hey, shout out to you, Hayes. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate having you here. 929RR guy, I'm sure a lot of Trump friends, and I just lost, okay, are on the list. Okay, the chat is moving so fast. Okay. Tamantha, and I just lost. Okay. This ultra MAGA will not turn my back on President Trump. I trust God. Elon sucks. Wait a minute now. That's a good point. But did you feel initially when Trump and Elon were a team, did you like Elon at that moment? I'm just curious. Okay. Michelle, I am more passionate about what's right. Okay. That's a good way to be. Ruby Calvin says, American people will not let this go. He promised to release the list. Well, yeah, but what are you going to do? Now they're going to come back and say they had, oh, yeah, we did find the list. And here it goes. Basically, they took a position that there's no list. Like, how can you come back from that, Ruby? Tell us, how can you actually come back from that? Okay. All right. Elon not gain nowhere. Wallace said that. Wallace Yolanda. It's Miss Amy. Thanks for all the participation. Elon's bucket doesn't hold water anymore. Wow. So you think if he starts this whole third party, you don't think a lot of the Trump supporters will come over? You don't think Trump is creating a vacuum in the MAGA world because of what's happening? I mean, the leaders are all seem to be turning on him. So what's going to happen with all the people? All right. I saw an article this morning. Barack Obama says the Democratic Party needs to become stronger. They're weak. So it looks like the Democratic Party has not recovered from Donald Trump. I'm just telling you what I observed, folks. They have not recovered. It's just not happening. We have to give the Democratic Party some milk right now. Okay. Elon not going nowhere. That's what Wallace says. It's Miss Amy says Elon. Okay, I read that already. Julie says, not a chance. Musk is scum. Ooh, wow. See, a lot of people have turned on Elon Musk. Well, how do you feel about Elon having all access to all the government information? And now you're calling him scum. That's a big problem. All right. Daryl Haynes says, let the list out and whoever is on it needs to be prosecuted no matter who it is. Okay. That's a law-abiding citizen. Shout out to you, Daryl. Standing on business. Okay, Ruby Calvin says Diddy and Trump buddies. Okay. All right. I'm pretty sure you could find a picture of Diddy and Trump together at one time. I can't speak on if they're buddies now, but they've definitely known each other. So, okay, Michelle says, gotta go. Okay, shout out to you, Michelle. Send me that email so I can send you your money. Hayes Pennington, shout out to you. Ruby Colvin, money does talk, paid off, right on. Leo Toes, 20 Toes says, Elon Music better stop singing before they make him a sad song. That's very true. I wonder about that. He better have a good team. This is serious business. Who was the president when Epstein met his demise, folks? Does anybody know who was the president? Was it Joe Biden or was it Donald Trump? Answer the question, folks. Tell us who it was. Okay, Hayes Pennington says, sad song. Yes. Julie, it's not a Democrat or Republican issue. It's a right versus wrong. Right on, Julie. But that's the part that I think in the big picture, they do not want us to see. You know, when it's wartime, we will not be asking our neighbor, what party do you align with? You're going to go to war. We have to fight together, folks. All right. Michael says they lost the files in a boating accident, just like I lost my guns. Okay. Good point. Good point. Good illustration, Michael. Michael, you're probably a public speaker, I would imagine. You're probably a public speaker. Ruby Calvin says we're living in a crazy, crazy world. Right on. All right. George Lopez. Trump is definitely on the list. A lot of people are saying that. I'm going to do a poll today, folks. I'm going to do a poll. We're going to ask and see how many people really believe this stuff that Trump is on the list. Okay, Tim Chakan says, is that why Trump has total control of MAGA Republicans? Half of them are probably on the list. Oh, half of them are on the list. What's going on? Wow. Hayes Pennington, right or wrong? You are right. Okay. Okay. Free Maxwell. If there's no list, that's a good point. Why is she in jail if there's no list? Tough Luck 65. Why didn't the Democrats drop the list if Trump is not on there? Someone said because Maxwell was on trial. So that's a concept that we could look at. Let's talk about it tonight. I'll have to research that. Ruby Calvin says Maxwell will end up unalived. Wow. That's what you think. Okay. Dr. Love Green. We have a doctor in the house. Why is she in jail? Okay. Good point. If there's no list, they're going to have to reconcile this. So I'm pretty sure she has an attorney that could jump right on top of that. Okay. Tough Luck 65. If true, P is on there. My bad. Okay. All right. George Lopez said hi to you, Bordeaux. Okay, good deal. Cult members. I guess you're talking about MAGA followers being cult members. I'm not sure. You could expound. It's Miami. Love. I wonder if the people cheering now realize that they will be tracking you and your weapons next after rolling over due to the process. Okay. Good point. A lot of people need their weapons. Okay. Dr. Love Green. The right will follow Trump right into the island cultists. Okay. Okay. They lied, according to Dr. Love Green. No list anymore. Okay. Hayes Pennington, you are welcome. Okay. Dr. Love Green wants everybody to know they lied to y'all's face. Okay. Blue Ocean is back. What's right is not indoctrinating our children about gender, sick as it gets. Okay. Okay. D. Bryant says she will sacrifice a child for her politics. Okay. Okay. Ruby Calvin says everybody's on the list, and that's why it's not being released. Celebrities, Republicans, Democrats, presidents, etc. They would put themselves at risk. We already know. We already know, folks. Wow. All these people on the list, you think? Okay. Carpe Dean says, Hope everything is well. Okay, thank you. Shout out to you. Hope all is well with you too. Trevor's artwork. Elon Musk wants to make the government like an Apple app. That's what I thought was happening. I thought the government was going to be running like an app, running like a Tesla car, you know. DA 101, Brew, what the freak? Is there so many wannabe in my YouTube live feed? Okay. All right. I think there's a way to fix that. You just have to put like a block or something like that if you don't want to see it. Trevor's artwork. If we went to Elon after Trump, I feel like the country would be so strong. It would be ridiculous and we'd be brought right into the future. Okay. Okay. So that's a different concept, but I can see that. I can see how you came to the conclusion. The guy's definitely doing a lot, but taking over the country, that's a whole different process. Okay, Hayes Pennington. Okay, what's up, Bordeaux? Elon and Trump are the same person. They are brothers, according to Christine Stubblefield. Okay, Dr. Love Green. If y'all say they can't release the list because it would ruin everyone, well then, why are you still supporting him? So, guys, why are you still supporting Trump? According to Dr. Love Green. All right, DA 101. Can we just vote in AOC before people have a stroke over it? Okay. All right. AOC. We have an AOC supporter. Trevor's artwork. I would vote for Vance before I would vote for Trump for sure. Or if the governor of Florida ran, I would be 100% vote for him every time. Ron DeSantis. You like him, huh? I thought he would have a bigger play when it came to running for president, but for some reason he kind of fell in the background. One time he was like the up and rising guy, right? Ruby Colvin, Elon has the list. I think he may have seen the list, or seen something. Tom Barron, Obama is a has-been, washed-up, crooked politician. Okay. Shout out to you, Tom. Thanks for coming through. Trevor's artwork. The list is only good as the person that wrote it. Okay. Okay. Mother Jen says, I think the whole feud is an act to keep Tesla safe from haters. Okay. Okay. Good point. Jason Pensanote. Trump is a disgrace, and so are Pam and Cash. Okay. Hayes Pennington says, Vance for president, that works. Okay. DA 101. JD Vance is busy taking vacation trips. Haven't seen a whole lot of him. I'll definitely have to look into that. Julie says, I want to sue him. Elon shouldn't have had access to our personal information. Okay. A lot of people feel that way. Ruby Colvin, thanks for sharing. You got it. Carpe Diem says, Trump, it's okay. Everybody must have answered something when they said Trump. Okay. Mother Jen says, Biden was president. Okay. Okay. Joseph says was back in 2019. Okay. We have so many comments, folks. Thank you for all the comments. I really do appreciate it. Cherie says help poor. Okay. Okay. All right. A lot of comments here. So again, we will be back live again tonight at 8 o'clock. Feel free to tune back in, folks. We're going to keep bringing you the latest information just so we can discuss it. Feel free to come up and give your thoughts or your ideas. I'll drop the link one last time in case someone wants to come up. If not, we're going to call it quits for now, but we will be back tonight. I did not intend for this show to go on for an hour and a half. Oh, my goodness. Well, folks, this was supposed to be 30 minutes, but we just had an overwhelming amount of people coming through, so I was trying to cover. And a lot of people are really friendly and kind in this comment section. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. And again, let's be nice to everyone. Corey says Trump has mental health issues. Slarson says in every single grocery store checkout lane was plastered with the photos. Reminds me of those days of Inquirer. I want to know. Remember you be in line? That was the Instagram back in the day, right? That's where you pick up on your gossip, standing in line, paying for your groceries and whatnot. Okay. Law Just Kel says Maxwell will not be unalive. Trump will make sure of it. She will serve her time and live. Okay. So we have people taking different positions just about on every concept, folks. And that's what's beautiful. That's what helps people come together. It's not good to live in your own little echo chamber. You know, it's kind of like when you're a guy and you're pretty weird and you live by yourself or what have you. And then a female comes along and says, hey, stop wearing those high water breeches and stop wearing those weird clothes. You know, you need somebody to come in and tell you stop doing certain things. So I'm very receptive of criticism, folks. So I think we all should, but just not bully and abuse other people. That's the name of the game. All right, Sharice, good afternoon to you too. Charles Sizemore, I don't see Trump being on the list. I do see him being a shot caller in the no. Guilty, that's questionable. Okay. Wow. Law Just Kel says his wife is on the list too. We got to see this list. We have to see the list. Now, I want to make a clarification. That girl Henny had the flight log. So that's when we're talking about the discussion. We were talking about the flight log last night. We don't have access to some sort of list involving, especially anything to do with criminal behavior. Let's get that clear. Pizza Man, shout out to you. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for everybody that liked the video, shared and subscribed. I appreciate you guys. We're going to keep at it. We have a lot to cover, so I'm going to go for now. I'm going to put together some pretty solid material for tonight. If you have input, feel free to come on the show tonight. Donna, it was 2006 when he was first prosecuted. Bush was the president. Okay, thank you for that intel, Donna. We appreciate that. Okay, Pizza Mind says, I believe it's just and has been a distraction. A lot of people feel that way. They think it's all a distraction. So what are they distracting us from now, folks? Carpadine says, sadly, we will likely be at war with each other. We don't have to be. And I see a lot of people coming together talking about Trump. Now, this is pretty heroic to me that nobody's calling names and we're not telling each other to go take a hike and all this other nonsense, but we're just covering what's happening around us. And I do not even care to give my opinion. I don't think it helps the conversation because I do have the microphone, folks. So I do not want a slanted audience. And if you're agitated because I don't go there, then you're going to stay agitated because I'm going to stay in the neutral box, folks. You guys can give your opinion. I'm just reading it. Trevor's artwork, the list is only good to the person who wrote. Okay, I read that before. All right, looks like I covered most of the comments. Thank you for your contribution. Again, I'm just reading comments. I can't verify or deny any of the claims. But again, the comment section is vital. And I think everybody should be heard as much as possible. Last night with 15,000 people that came through, the chat section or the comment section was going so fast, I couldn't even barely keep up. So we'll do better. I'll have to slow down the chat section. So again, guys, thanks for tuning in. I really do appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. And tonight we're going to continue this conversation, but today we're going to cover today's news. I just wanted to come on for lunch and touch on a few points from the videos, but we're going to stay on top of the latest and the greatest. And thanks for tuning in to Watching the World, folks. We'll see you tonight at 8 o'clock. And definitely come and bring your comments with you. We want to hear from you, what you have to say. Don't stop commenting. And if you do have a source for what you're saying, please put the source in the comments because I will check the source, folks. Again, thank you for tuning in to Watching the World. I'll see you guys tonight.
Different voices. but the same song. Loving a world where we all belong. Kindness leading the way, breaking the chains. In the symphony of love, the flame remains. Embracing diversity, brighter days in sight. Watching the world share in love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. Colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might. Watching the world sharing love and light. Hearts beating as one in our peaceful flight. The colors of harmony, painting the night. United we stand in love's pure might.